What's up, you two? This is Too Raw for Sports. All right, so Andre Iguodala today doubled down on his opinion about Rasheed Wallace. All right, he didn't back down like LeBron and I misspoke and all this type of shit. He's like, no, look, me speaking that highly of Rasheed Wallace is me actually saying how great I think Giannis is. I think Rasheed is that great that even when I'm comparing him to Giannis, Giannis can still be better, but I think Rasheed is great. I really do. I know what he's talking about. Now, I'm not saying I would think that he would be better than Giannis. I don't think he'd be more dominant than Giannis. But I think if Rasheed played in this era which focuses more on skills, outside shooting, three-point shooting, playmaking, individual stats, because gotta remember Rasheed is a UNC guy, man, and a lot of UNC players, they're not necessarily selfish players. If you think about it, they're not self-centered players. Vince Carter never was really about stats and numbers. Rasheed Wallace is another one. Michael Jordan, yeah, he could score, but he could also play within the concept of a team, the team concept, excuse me, because that was ingrained in you in North Carolina. And that was one of the knocks on Rasheed Wallace. Infinitely talented basketball player, but he was not about numbers. And sometimes his teammates had to get on him to shoot more because he was that selfless. That's why his numbers don't jump out at you. You had to actually watch Rasheed Wallace. If you really watched him play, I'm going to tell you something else too. Portland really hasn't been the same team, franchise really, since those teams. I know later on they called them the Jailblazers and shit, but has Portland ever really been anything close to a championship contender since Rasheed Wallace was there? I mean, you think about it, the Kobe and Shaq years, right? They were the only team to really threaten Kobe and Shaq in the Western Conference, other than the Spurs. Then Rasheed goes to the Pistons after, I think, one game appearance with Atlanta Hawks. He goes to the Pistons, and they instantly transform, along with Ben Wallace, the defensive anchor. They transform from a good team to a championship team. And he was their go-to guy down the stretch. Rasheed Wallace, their turnaround jumper, high release, quick flick release, turnaround jumper in the post. Unstoppable fucking shot. You just had to hope he was off with the motherfucker. Could shoot from the mid-range, shoot from outside. And, that's what people, and he was a guy that was very tenacious. We all know that about him. He could be a little volatile. He had that thing about him. He definitely would have had the edge when it comes to competitiveness, drive. I think in today's game, he would be more, teams would probably, I think because of his skill set today, he would be more of an offensive focal point, 6'10", 230 to 250. Listed 6'11". I think people forget how big he was. Remember, he was a great addition to those Celtics teams. That Celtics team in 2010 that went to the finals and came so close to winning another championship. And look, I'm not saying that he would be as great as Giannis, but I understand where Iggy's coming from. I think on a bad team, I can see Rasheed Wallace, or a mediocre team, I'll say, I could see Rasheed Wallace averaging something like 26 points and 9 rebounds and 5 assists. I could see him shooting 37% from three in this era. I could see him being a perennial all-star in this era. I can see him punking a lot of players. I definitely can see that shit. And with the lack of big man talent, like real big man talent compared to when he played, yeah, I can see what he's talking about. I don't think Rasheed, because of his nature, though, I don't know if he would be a guy shooting the ball 25 times a night. And also another thing too, with everything pushed out to the perimeter, and I remember when he was younger, he used to get a lot of lobs and shit like that, alley-oops. I could see his field goal percentage being a lot higher. I could see it being like Giannis's, 55, 56%. I could see him shooting about 35, 36%, 37% from three. He wasn't the greatest rebounder. That's why I said only like 9 boards a game. But yeah, I could definitely see it, man. And he's definitely that type of guy, that spark plug that you want on your team. Yeah, I know where Iggy's coming from. I don't agree that he'd be better than Giannis, but I definitely could see him being one of the better big men in the league. Now, he primarily played power forward, but I could definitely see him being a top 3 power forward in the league. I could definitely see that. But tell me what you guys think.